followers. Before then, though, the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine, yesterday took the platform of the Government Accountability Series and organized a press conference. In this press conference, Dr. Ayine explained the much talked about nolle prosequi that he entered for the Unibank case. And also, he gave an update on the other things that are happening. But soon after Dr. Ayine spoke at the press conference, researcher and intellectual giant of Imani, Bright Simmons, had an answer. Well, he had a rebuttal to some of the things Dr. Ayine said. We'll look at it, and then during the text message, you can tell us what you think. Also, former Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Damne has a fiery response to Dominic Ayine. Godfred Yeboah-Damne's article, which you may have seen, has been shared on all the media, will be read here in 1 minute so that we can get a grasp of it. Good evening to both gentlemen. Why do I have Oliver Vomaho here? Okay. Oliver is here because Dr. Ayine made the point that the oral, he said oral is still very much on the beat. That's what he said. Oral is still very much on the beat. But he also made the point that the bad press that people are seeking to give to oral is being generated by the MPP, who are saying that oral didn't go anywhere, And we found out from just a little cursory appreciation of what's happening on social media, it's actually Oliver Vomaho. He's been the loudest voice in threatening oral that it looks like they're not doing their work. Every time there's something, Oliver will post and say oral is not doing his work. So we wanted to bring that to the attention of the Attorney General, that one of the people who has been critical of the outcomes of the oral investigations and looking for quick implementation of the events that oral uncovered is actually Oliver Vomaho, not the MPP people. It's Oliver. If you look at Oliver's Facebook page, you can go there now and have a look at it. You'll see that all over. So let's see what Bright Simmons said. Now, Dr. Ayine said last week in a press statement explaining that in the nolle prosequi, in the case of Unibank had committed about 60% of whatever the government was looking for from them. And on that account, he felt that sufficient recovery had been done, and so it is part of the reasoning that underpinned his decision to give a nolle prosequi in the case of Unibank. Many people were concerned about if it's 60, where is the 40, or da. During his press conference, Dr. Ayine explained that the prosecution was going in a certain direction. The case is going in a certain direction that will end either in blue or in red. That as Attorney General, he's prosecuting the case, but he doesn't know where it's going to end. And so if he gets 60%, he will take it, rather than go all the way to the end and get nothing. Dr. Ayine used the case of Beige Capital, which had also just been announced. Beige Capital's case had just been announced, where the accused persons in Beige Capital had secured a Court of Appeal cancellation of the High Court's decision that Beige Capital had a case to answer. As you may know, in criminal trial, the prosecution will finish their case, and usually defense can say that the prosecution has not made a case to answer, and then that's an application they'll make before the court, and the judge will make a determination as to whether they have a case to answer or not. In the particular case of Beige, the judge made a determination that they do have a case to answer, so they should go ahead and open their defense. But that's an application that one can always appeal against. You remember the Atuforsen case. So the Beige people appealed against it. The Court of Appeal took the view that the High Court was wrong, that indeed the prosecution had not submitted sufficient material for the defense to answer, and so Beige walks free. For those of us who are his friends, we say we thank God. For those who are not his friends, they say something else. But the critical issue about this matter is that the former Attorney General raised some points in his document about that. Let's go straight to the touchscreen and understand why Bright Simmons thinks that Unibank have not paid 60% to the government or to the public chest or to the public exchequer. They have actually paid 10%. This is what Bright Simmons says. Let's hear it. He says, here is a digestible summary of, Bright Simmons, all right. On 22nd July 2025, the Attorney General of Ghana announced a settlement with the owners of the defunct Unibank, effectively ending both criminal prosecutions and civil recovery efforts against them. Attorney General did not quite say that the civil is ended. He said that the 40% will be recovered through the civil process. I think that's part of the Attorney General statement that we must add here. Okay. It goes on. This move stirred skepticism, not only because the owners include a former finance minister from the Attorney General's own party, but also because it seemed to relinquish the government's leverage in recovering funds. The settlement terms were presented as a triumph. The Attorney General suggested that 60% of Unibank's liabilities would be recovered, but Bright Simmons contests this figure, asserting that the actual recovery is a mere 10.6%, or 160 million of what may well exceed 1.5 billion in losses. He considers the financial logic of the deal deeply flawed. Bright Simmons praises the Attorney General's transparency, but criticizes the substance of his financial analysis. The real death of the hole left by Unibank's collapse is larger than what the AG revised the figures to show. For context, Unibank had grown rapidly but was later revealed to have serious asset impairment. By 2018, the bank had liabilities of nearly 9.2 billion, according to KPMG. Meanwhile, its owners admitted in 2018 to direct liabilities of 4.9 billion, a figure now mysteriously revised downwards to 3.3 billion in the settlement. Further, Simmons points out that many loans made by Unibank to its own affiliate companies and other borrowers were never repaid, resulting in unrecoverable losses. Over 1.8 billion remains unaccounted for, according to Bright Simmons. Despite the Attorney General's claim of 800 million in property forfeitures and 1.2 billion in debtor recoveries, those amounts fall far short of even the liabilities Unibank's owners themselves previously admitted to. Perhaps most critically, the Bank of Ghana and the receiver, both key institutions in this affair, have remained silent. Simmons argues that their views are essential to understand the real impact of the deal. He concludes that this AG press conference should spark a national conversation about accountability in Ghana's financial sector. Instead, it risks being the end of scrutiny. His final challenge is stark. Is Ghana serious about financial justice, or does it operate under the catanomics where the rich and powerful escape through reckoning? Okay, so that's just the other side of what the Attorney General said yesterday. Let's now look at